Well, howdy there, Internet people, it's Belle again. I know people are waiting for information on what happened in Utah. We don't have any more information than you do at the moment. There's already been a couple of false positives, so we're waiting for a clearer picture. So today, we're going to talk about the Senate GOP blocking the Epstein file release. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer surprised a lot of people when he announced on the Senate floor Wednesday that he was planning to file an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act that would require the Attorney General to release all the files and documents related to Epstein. The NDAA is a must-pass piece of legislation. A move to attach the amendment to that bill seemed to surprise people on both sides of the aisle, although it had to have been discussed at least a little bit at some point. Schumer, who is infamous for keeping with Senate tradition and procedure, broke heavily here with the norm. By tradition, the majority party takes the procedural step of filing cloture to push a floor vote. Schumer's amendment was pretty much the same as the one being pushed in the House. The Republican side of the aisle described Schumer's amendment as a, quote, extremely hostile act. They went on to talk about how it could jeopardize bipartisan budget negotiations. Even Republicans who support the idea of releasing the files took issue with the way Schumer went about it. Republicans were barely able to dismiss the amendment because Senators Josh Hawley of Missouri and Rand Paul of Kentucky voted with Democrats. The final vote was 51-49, but this is unlikely to be the last time the Senate has to deal with the issue. So far, the Senate has avoided the turmoil over this that has plagued the House, but it's under the surface. It seemed as though they had put it aside while they worked on the budget deal. This chain of events brought in a few questions from people who saw Schumer's move as uncharacteristic. Uncharacteristic is my word. More than one of the questions asked if or why Schumer had suddenly grown 2 pieces of anatomy. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what this means. The surprise nature of this meant there was actually a chance of it sliding through. If it had, it would have kicked a hornet's nest, and the White House would have been furious. It absolutely would have caused major issues with the budget negotiations. It would have thrown the Senate into disarray. If you're familiar with Schumer, that's not really his style. Right now, somebody is typing something about a strongly worded letter down in the comments. And Schumer is good at strategy. He's not great at firing up Democratic support because many of his moves are bland. This is a break with that trend. Does it mean it's a sustained break? Is it a one-off stunt to gauge GOP support? No clue. It could be a sign that Democrats are actually going to fight on the budget deal and are hoping to keep Republicans off balance. For those who didn't follow politics in the pre-Trump days, those strongly worded letters he gets made fun of for today used to be effective at doing that because they would end up on the news and sway opinion because the country wasn't quite as polarized then. So the short answer is, Schumer did something decidedly out of character. That's plain to see, but we have no idea what it means long term. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.